Do you see this large commercial building behind me with the red stripe? It runs a city block. I can't get the entire building in the camera shot. It's so big. But this is one of the first large commercial repaint projects that I acquired through the exact same system, with later on some improvements, that I've taught to hundreds of painting contractors all across the nation, and have been able to generate remarkable success stories. You know, one of the number one things I hear from painting contractors all the time is, Brandon, I wish I could get into more commercial repaint work. The jobs are bigger, the guys are easier to deal with, there's a continuity of revenue there, they're not emotional like homeowners, it's easier to schedule and manage. Gosh, I wish I had more commercial repaint, but they just don't know how to get them. And that's why it's been my privilege over the last decade to watch hundreds of painting contractors, truly hundreds, go from having virtually no commercial repaints in their portfolio to 20%, 30%, 50%, 60%, and in some cases, 100% commercial repaints running $5 and $6 million companies. This doesn't happen by happy accident. It happens by a deliberate, specific process that is uniformly applied. And in the upcoming Commercial Repaints Bootcamp, I'm going to teach you the exact strategies I've used, and I'm going to give you the toolkit, the franchise-grade quality systems you need to tap into this amazing, lucrative market. When I think back to when I was running my painting business, this job here was a godsend. It was like $60,000, which today would be about $120,000, with the charge rates being what they are with inflation over the last decade. And it was a boon to us. It was remarkable. We were able to pay off our commercial building in part because of the proceeds that we got from painting this one behind me. And if you're looking for that kind of leap in your income, that kind of leap in your ability to build equity, I'm telling you, commercial repaints is the vehicle to do it. So what's going to happen in this 6-hour-long commercial repaint bootcamp? This is not just me talking to you. Again, you're going to walk away with the tools you need to get this done, and we're going to do it in 5 separate courses. And we're also going to conclude with a commercial repaint mastermind panel. These are guys that are running multi-million-dollar companies that are almost exclusively commercial repaints, and one individual who runs a residential repaint company in an urban, or rather a rural area. And you would think this individual can't possibly find commercial repaints where they are, but in fact, it is now a large component of his business. You can do it too in any given market. Suburban, urban, rural, doesn't make a difference. You can make it happen. First thing we're going to cover is why the commercial repaint market is so desirable, and how does approaching that market differ from residential. There are huge differences. If you try to approach this market like residential, it will not work in many respects, although in some cases the fundamentals are the same. What are the mindsets, the habits an owner must develop to succeed in this space? Who are these decision makers? Every company has roles and designations of folks that are managing these painting maintenance budgets in commercial. Who are they? What marketing methods work to gain attention? These guys are busy. You got to cut through the clutter. How do you secure a meeting, and how do you receive your first estimate request? And we've got very inventive marketing campaigns that have been proven to work. I'm going to share and give those to you so you can immediately deploy them in your market. When is the best time to approach them? Sometimes they're better than others, but frankly, today's always the best day if this is something you want to get into. But I will give you a sneak peek heading into the winter, which is where we are now, where you need interior work. I'm telling you, these guys get budgets around January. They're spending their budget from the year before. Their budgets are released for the next year, usually at the beginning of the year. And finally, there's often shutdown work during the holidays when your guys want to be working, but residential homeowners don't want you in their house. But here, you can paint inside this big, huge warehouse and without worrying about the weather to keep your guys working through the winter. How do you keep your prospect list warm during what is a longer sales cycle? This is a place where people fail. You've got to keep the list warm. Where do these prospects gather together? There are some places where they gather together. And if you get involved in those spaces, you can make a huge impact with very little effort. It's almost like shooting fish in a barrel, although I have seen people mess it up, and there are ways to do it better. We're going to teach you where those organizations are, what they are, and how you can get involved in them. When you get an opportunity what sales strategies work to close the deal. If you've got a weak sales process, we don't need to go after commercial. We cannot catch a whale in a fishing boat, right? We need a whaler if we're going to catch a whale. And so we got to make sure that if we get this big fish on the hook, that we've got the equipment we need to reel them in. When you get an opportunity and finally close one of these guys, how do you retain them as a client and grow them over the years in a way that keeps the competition out? So guys, again, this is going to be a 6-hour training. You will walk away with done-for-you franchise-grade tools. We're limiting the training to 25 people. I don't want a gob of folks on this. We're going to do it via Zoom. It's going to be virtual. The training cost is $14.97. If you say, I don't have $14.97, then don't get into commercial repaints. Because if you ain't got $14.97 laying around, there is no way you're going to be able to go without a paycheck for 30, 60, or 90 days, which you may have to do in the repaint world. We'll talk about payment terms also as part of this training, and financing and things you can do to make sure the cash keeps flowing. But it's $14.97. The registration deadline is October 29th, and the course will be on October 30th, and that is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to get in on this and get the resources that I have used to help the individuals that are on the panel that will be talking to you achieve such monumental success, you would be a fool if you want to get into commercial repaints and you do not attend this training. This is the best and only opportunity you will probably have this year to make your winter completely different and to make next year the biggest, best year you ever have. And it can change the way your painting business runs. It can give you diversity in a time economically where we may need it with your painting portfolio, and give you recurring income in larger chunks so that you can finally scale your business and your income. Brandon Lewis, join me for the Commercial Repaint Bootcamp. It's coming up soon. Don't miss out. See you there.